Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It's Tuesday morning, coffee kind of morning. Want to continue my Albums to Discover series through Discog Shuffle. Having a lot of fun doing this. And the last time this shuffled, this amazing album, Jethro Tull Aqualung. This happens to be the Stephen Wilson stereo remix from 2011. Sounds wonderful. It's really, really good. Sounds so good. But before that, a little bit about the band. These guys were formed in '67 from Blackpool, Lancashire. Originally a blues-based band. Their very first album is so bluesy. It's unbelievable. It's hard to believe that they went from that to Aqualung and all the other progressive rock albums that they created. And they've become one of the greatest progressive rock bands ever. It's amazing. Of course, featuring the amazing singer-songwriter, flautist, performer, stage performer for sure, Ian Anderson. He's just a presence on his own. I don't think anyone can duplicate him. I don't think anyone can match his presence on stage. He's just a remarkable performer. Or play flute like him either. He's kind of a self-taught flautist. I've watched reaction videos from flautists that don't understand how he comes up with his playing style, but it's just remarkable. Of course, and the amazing Martin Barre, the guitarist, who has been on every one of their albums except the very first album. Amazing guitarist, a remarkable guitarist. And then for a time, Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath was actually in Jethro Tull from '68 to '69. I didn't realize that until I was doing some research on this. They've won a Grammy in 1987's Crest of a Knave. They've sold 60 million albums worldwide, 11 gold, 5 platinum. One of the most successful progressive rock bands ever. Their discography, it's massive. I don't have everything, but I have a fair amount. So it starts off with their first album, 1968. This is a remarkable album. So bluesy, so different from anything else that they've put out. Features guitarist Mick Abraham, who's a major blues influence, and this showed on this album. Remarkable. It's kind of like Fleetwood Mac's original debut. So bluesy. This is remarkable. So good. This came from a little box set that has their first 3 albums on it at a reasonable price. I mean, these are like $20 or $23 box sets, but it gives you a great discography on the band. Then we have 1969's Stand Up, their second album. Another great album. Almost as bluesy, not quite as this was. The reason being that Mick Abraham wanted to continue on with the blues path, and Ian Anderson wanted to branch out into more folk rock and progressive rock, and the latter one. Ian Anderson won the debate, I guess. So Mick Abraham's out, and Martin Barre's in. And Martin Barre has given the band a different sound, a unique sound, and he's been on every album since they've been together. And then we have 1970's Benefit, the third album. Another fantastic album. Um, it's a little darker than Stand Up, and this was. And it's the first to include keyboardist John Evans. But what a great, great album. So that's their first three albums. And then we come to the one we're talking about today, their fourth album, Aqualung. What a departure from their previous three albums. You would have almost think it would be later in the mix, but this is on 190 gram. Sounds wonderful. It's on the Chrysalis label. Comes with this great booklet as well. Just different photos of the band, history of the band. There's Mr. Wilson there. He did a remarkable job remixing this one. And it's such a great album. So many cool pictures of the band. So really pleased to have this. There's an awesome photo right there. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to flip through the book, but there's a great picture of the band. Martin Barr in the corner. Yeah, what a classic album. The theme of the album is a mix of religion and kind of being at odds with God, and also the absence of religion as well. The theme, the very first song, Aqualung, can be taken in so many ways. Reaction videos, when they initially hear it and listen to the lyrics, they think, ooh, it's kind of a child molester type of predator type of thing, but I don't think it's like that at all. I think it's just a guy that's just down and out. He happens to be in a park, the only place he can get sun. This guy comes along and tries to befriend him, tells him about the Salvation Army down the road, and tries to help him out. And it's just a sad tale about a sad person, really. But I can see where people can take it the other way and go south with it. It gave the success of the band, for sure, and made them commercially recognizable, and also huge classic rock radio hits as well. Also addresses some of Anderson's personal experiences with religion, with God. Awesome tracks like Hymn 43, Locomotive Breath is just a remarkable song, and of course the title track, Aqualung. Martin Barr's solo, which is a great solo on the track Aqualung, was listed as the greatest 20 guitar solos of all time, and it hit number 20. So he's no slouch of a guitarist, kind of an underrated guitarist for sure, but what a great album. Some of the other albums I have, just quickly go through them here. I won't spend a lot of time on them, but got 1972's Thick as a Brick. This is actually a newspaper, basically, with an album in it. It's on Reprise Records. It's the fifth studio album. The album itself is a continuous piece of music, split over two sides. And it's also a parody on the concept album idea. Kind of makes fun of it. Again, designed as a newspaper. I haven't yet to go through and read the newspaper. There's crosswords in there. There's sports. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Wonderful album. And then you have one of my favorites by the band. 1974's War Child. Another great album. And I love the back cover because every photo depicts a song on the album. And it's kind of like find Waldo to figure out what photo goes with what song. But remarkable song. Album. 1974 release and the 7th studio album. Then you have Songs from the Wood. Another great album. This 10th studio album. It's more folky, more folk rock, with a lot of pagan folklore in it as well. It's kind of a departure from War Child. Then you've got, from this great box set here, another cool box set. You've got, which also includes Songs from the Wood. You've got the 11th studio album released in 1978, Heavy Horses, which is second in the trilogy. So this is the first in the trilogy, Songs from the Wood, and Heavy Horses is the second in the trilogy. And then you've got the third in the trilogy, and wrapping up the trilogy, you've got 1979 Stormwatch, 12th studio album, and more songs about the oil industry and money and the environment. So more to say on this particular album. And then you got 1980s A, which I also have on vinyl. And then you've got, finally to wrap up this box set here, Broadsword and the Beast. Love that cover. Broadsword and the Beast, 14th studio album. Kind of a cross between 80s synth and folk rock, kind of right in the middle. And then a couple later CDs that I have as well. You've got Crest of a Knave. Crest of a Knave is a 16th studio release in 1987. Kind of a 3-year gap between albums, as Ian Anderson had a major throat infection. So that would have changed his singing style as well. It's harder than the previous album before this, Under Wraps, which I don't have, but I'm definitely going to get it. But it's a much harder album, which kind of brought them back into their rock era and their rock status. Actually, this album here, Crest of a Knave, won a Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance in 1989. And then the last album I have, not necessarily their last album, but Roots to Branches. Another fine album. 19th studio album released in 1995. More jazz and rock, and quite a bit different, but it's a great album. So there's my look at Aqualung and Jethro Tull. As you can see, they're one of my favorite bands. I don't have everything, but they're definitely on my radar to get as much of their discography as possible. They're a band that they've changed so many ways and so many styles over the years, but one thing has been consistent is Ian Anderson's amazing vocals and writing style, and Martin Barr's guitar. That's just given them just a sound that is so unique to that particular band. So let's see what's next on the Discog Shuffle here. My Discogs, go to my, so as you can see, nothing on the list. And I go up here to random item. Oh, the Cars. Sorry, yeah, Cheap Trick. One-on-one. What did I say the Cars for? Cheap Trick, one-on-one. So there's my next album to discuss. And of course, as well as the band. So there you have it. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day. I may do that a little later. I may do that tomorrow. We'll see. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye now.